Hello, everybody. I'm going to be going through this scraping concerts lab. In this lab, we're going to be scraping this page and getting all the different events. So let's first go to that page. I'm going to close my Zoom window. And we're supposed to scrape events for in your area, and I'm in Missouri. So no events in Missouri. So I'm going to go ahead and just do New York because there's actually events there. So let's grab this URL to start. And I'm going to need to import the request library. And I want to import from Beautiful Soup, import Beautiful Soup. Let's start first with my URL. And I want to grab the date. I want the event name, which is this thing right here. The venue, which is at this TBA New York, at nowadays. So that's where it's taking place at. The event date, which is right here. And then the number of attendees, which is right here. And what makes this kind of challenging is that the date is right here, but then all the other information is right here. If the date was in each of these little blocks, it'd be a lot easier. But that's not the case, so I need to handle that. So let's first, I want to just grab this HTML from this. So New York response equals request dot get this URL. And then I want to convert this into Beautiful Soup. So soup equals Beautiful Soup, response.content. And then I want to use the HTML parser. So got my Beautiful Soup, so cool. So now I'm going to inspect the page. And what do I want? So I'm going to start with that. So it looks like this div tag right here, everything is inside of it. So not inside of that. Page item content. So it looks like it is inside of here. So what I'm looking for here is what is being highlighted, and I want to grab everything that's inside of this dark blue. So let's look inside this event listings. And then there's lists, it looks like. So there's a list for the date, for the different events. Cool. So where the heck was that? So I want this div with the event listing. Let's grab that, and then I think I can grab the lists out of that. So let's do soup.find, and I forgot what it was already, but it's a div tag with an ID of event listing, div tag with ID equals event listing. And if I remember right, I was looking for all the list tags. So let's scroll up. So this first one should be the date. The second one should be the first event. So let's do a .find all on the list tags. So the first one, if I did this correct, is the date. And if we do it .text, so it is the date. But I could do a .strip on this to clean it up. Didn't really clean it up too much. Let's do a .replace. The / we'll replace that with nothing, then do a .strip. So makes that nice and clean. Let's grab this second element. And if we did this correct, it should be all of this stuff. So Disorient presents Country Club X, Dynamica. Cool. So that looks like that is correct. So let's take a look at this first element again, and hopefully there's differences between the first and the second element. I want to check if the first element is different than the second element because I want to store the dates, and then I also want to store the events slightly differently. So that way I know if I got a date right here, Thursday, May 21st, then I also know that this date goes with this event, this date goes with this event, this date goes with this event. And then once I hit another one of these, I know this date goes with this event, this date goes with this event, etc. So looking at, this is the date. So let's kind of play around with this. So it looks like there is a dot find class equals event date. So it's that. So let's run a for loop through this. So this is a list. Oh, I didn't grab it right. So for x and this, if x dot find class equals event date print x dot text. So I end up with all the dates. So hopefully it goes back to Sunday, May 24th on this first page. And it does, which is nice. But I also want to clean this up a little bit, kind of like I did earlier. Dot replace. I want to replace that with nothing. And then I want to do a dot strip on it to clear the white space. So cool. So I got all my dates now. And then this is the second element right here. I'm gonna move this down and use this cell right here to play around with this. So it looks like there's a event item clear fix. So if, or not an if. So dot find article class, or I want to do a class on this. Class equals article, or I want this part right here. So there's that. What all do I want out of this? I forgot. I guess it's down below. So I want event name. The event name is Disorient presents Country Club X Dynamica. So where is that in this? So I want to find, it looks like it's the event title. Dot find class equals event title. And then I want to find, it looks so it's an href. So I want to find an a tag. This is getting intense. And then I want to find the text of that. So that's how to grab all of the titles, hopefully. Let's see if this works. So if x dot find, so first I want to find this class right here. So if it has this event item clear fix, then I want to try and find the title. So let's grab all that. X dot find, and I want to print this out just to see if it works. Worked out kind of nicely. So Thursday, May 21st, there's 3 events, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The last one's virtual Thursdays. So Saturday, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 events. And Sunday, there's 2 events. Let's see if that's right. Saturday, 4 events, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sunday, Oh gosh, 3 events. What happened? Disorient Presents, Country Club. What? So it looks like it missed that first one for some reason. New York City Memorial Day Sunday Yacht Party Cruise 2020. Why does it miss that one? So let's take a look at the inspection on it. So this has, has this logo here. So I need to check for this class as well. So or x.find class equals this thing. It's not good. Why does that not work? Let's do like -3. Which one is this? This is New York Yacht. This is the actual one actually. So to do a dot find of this class. So it doesn't work. Oh, I need to do a class in here. So that works. Oh, I think I need parentheses around everything. Oh, I want elif. Let me put this in another line. I'm not sure why that's not working for me. It does not want to find that. So what am I doing differently here? For x and soup.find. Do I have this correct right here, this class? Oh, I feel like I had it wrong for some reason. So the problem now is I got all these like canceled events now. Oh, I guess they are there originally. I don't know why I missed that. So let me try and put this in a single line again. I don't know why that was not working. Or let's run this right here. Okay, so there's 3 events on Sunday. There are 3 events on Sunday. Cool. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 events on Saturday. 4 events on Saturday. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 events on Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events on Saturday. Okay, so I think I got that all right. And then 3 events on Thursday. 3 events on Thursday. Cool. And so the next thing we want is the venue. So looking at this again, so it looks like it's this at port, and then it's right here. Let me look at the HTML. So this is all inside that list. So this part is that. So I could look for this span class array. Let's do a look for this class array. Dot find class equals array. And do a dot text. So maybe that'll work. So I want, what is this? The square bracket X. So it looks like it worked for the first element, but did it work for the second element? So, oh, it's not going to be class grade for everything. So it's at nowadays. Oh shoot. So it's this part right here. So I think it's this span I'm going to need, not gray. Dot find span. Oh, man. So let's look for this h1 tag first. Dot find h1, and then dot find span, and then dot text. So at nowadays, and then let's do it for the first element at TBA. So if I do this dot replace at, I'm gonna replace it with nothing. I get that, and then I can do a dot strip on it. So the first one's at TBA New York. The second one's at nowadays, the third one's at nowadays. Let's just see if that works. So the second one, I'm looking at this thing right here. At nowadays, the third one at nowadays. Okay, cool. So I need to run this instead. So at TBA New York, nowadays. The last one's at nowadays, TBA New York, Skyport Marina. Let's just see if someday works. Nowadays, TBA New York, Skyport Marina. So that is getting me event date and the venue. I got event name, I got venue, I got event date, and then I finally want number of attendees. Let's just take a look at the HTML for the remove all this. So it says 3 attending. I don't see that anywhere. Oh, here it is right here, 3 attending. So let's do a dot find. It's a p tag with a class equals attending. Dot text. Do the dot replace again. Attending with nothing, and do a dot strip. All right, cool. So they want us to put it inside this function. I just want to make sure I can get the attending first. Print x dot. That's not it. This is it right here. So 3 people, 2 people, 2 people, 1 people, 3, 3. 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, 3. And which day is this for? Oh, 3, 2, 2. So 3, 2, 2. And then I have 1, 3, 3. 1, 3, 3, 3, 11, 1, 12, 52. 3, 11, 1, 12, 52. So I think that looks correct as well. So let's put this all inside of a function, because that's what they want us to do. So first, grab this part right here. So they want us to return a data frame. So I need to import pandas, import pandas as PD. I don't want this URL. I want event page URL, events page URL. I want to grab my beautiful soup. I'm going to leave this part, the data frame, at the very bottom. And after I grab my beautiful soup, I want to grab I think I just want this right here. Let's see if this works. So I need, what do I need? I need a date, I want a name list, I want a venue list, I want a date list, and then I want a attendees list. So instead of printing all this out, I want to make a variable named date, or I'm going to call these underscore list. So this is going to be date. And then I want to append each of these two. So this is the name. So I want to do name list dot append then. This is the location. So I want to do venue list dot append. And then I want to do attendees list dot append. And then each time I append these, I want to append the date to it as well. So date list dot append date. So each time through this, the date should be updated. And then I want to make my data frame df equals pd dot data frame. So event name is going to be equal to name list. Venue is going to be equal to, I should do this in the same line to make it a little bit easier to read. That venue list is going to be equal to, or venue is going to be equal to venue list. And then I got event date is going to be equal to date list. And then I have number of attendees. And this is equal to attendees list. And since I'm specifying the columns right there, names, I don't need to do that. Let's see if that works. Oh, this all needs to be inside of the for loop. This needs to be right there. So this, So let's put in that URL again. Eventus page. It's thinking at least. Cool. Let's make sure that this last page part is 3. So there's 3 events on Sunday. New York City, Memorial Day Sunday yacht party, Skyport Marina, 3 people. 331, just at nowadays, TBA New York. Yeah, so this looks correct. So this is for grabbing a single page. We want to grab, write a function to retrieve the URL for the next page. So the next page is going to be this right here. So let's look for this right here. I'm going to do it outside of the function because I think it's a little bit easier. But I have my beautiful soup, which is soup still. Soup.find. And what was that again? It's a list, and the class is that. So dot find list class is equal to this. And let's find the A tag. I need to do dot find on the A tag. Cool. And then I want to do, what do I want to do? I want to grab the href. So this is the next page. And if I do combine this part with this part right here, so URL, if I do URL plus that, let's see if this is a good URL. It takes a second. Requested URL was not found, so looked like there's a little bit extra going on there that I wanted. So it says events US New York, events US New York. So it's got a little bit too much going on. I think I just want this part right here. Let's see if this is a good URL. All right, cool. So not too bad. So next page URL is equal to this. I should make that on 2 lines. And then I also need to grab my beautiful soup from the URL. This time it is URL. Oh, is that not gonna work for me? I thought you could do that. It's not gonna let me do that. So I guess I should just make this in 2 separate lines. Back of URL equals this, and then we'll do back of URL and do next page, and I want it to be this again. Okay, make sure this works. Cool. All right. So now they want us to scrape the next 1,000 events in your area. Be interesting if we can get 1,000 just because of the coronavirus going on, if there are 1,000 events. But before I try and do 1,000 events, which is a lot, I want to just see if I can get 2 pages and make sure I know what I'm doing. So let's just grab 2 pages, grab 2 pages. So to start, I want to grab the first page, grab first page. So I'm trying to think here. I need to add to my data frames. So maybe just start with a blank data frame and see if that works. df1 equals pd.dataframe. So start with blank data frame, and then grab first page. Ooh, I don't know what the best way to do this is. Trying to think. So if I grab the first page, I essentially want to like append multiple data frames to get it together. So I can't remember how to do that. Concatenate data frame pandas. There's this article I like from Chris Albon that, yeah. So we have 2 data frames. So if we join them along the rows, yeah, it's just pd.concat. So it would be df first page equals that. And that is going to equal this. So let's just run that, make sure that works. df first page, make sure it gave me some good stuff. So now I want to concatenate those 2 data frames, pd.concat. And this is, it takes in a list, I believe, the 2 data frames, yeah. So I want to start df1, df first page. This is going to be equal to df1. So that looks good. So now I want to grab my URL, grab URL of next page. And what are we doing here? We are doing next page is this. Next URL is equal to this. Print out next URL so I can see it. So cool. So now grab second page. I'm just going to call this df second page equals what the heck is that name of that function? Scrape events. And I want to put in next URL. Let's just take a look at the second page. So not as many events. Let's just kind of see if that looks correct. So 2 events on Thursday the 28th, 1 event on Thursday the 29th, and then Thursday the 29th, 1 event, there's 30 people, Bicep Live. There's 101 people attending that, 101 people. So that all looks correct. Now I want to concatenate them together. So df1 equals pd.concat. And this is going to be df1 and df second page. And now we got all these events from the 21st through the 30th. So cool. So I want to grab 1,000 events. So length of df1 23 events so far, which is cool. I'm not sure if I'm able to get 1,000 events, like I said, just because I think I'm not sure with coronavirus if there is going to be 1,000 events, but let's just kind of see how it works. So start with my blank data frame. Start with blank data frame. So df1 equals pd dot data frame. While length of df1 is less than 1,000. So first I want to print out the length of the df1. I'm gonna make this an f string. Currently have length df1 events scraped. So if I run this right now, I'm gonna have an infinite loop. So 0 events scraped. I'm gonna shut this down because I don't like infinite loops. So the first step is my initial URL. So my initial URL is going to be grab URL of next page is this right here. I'm just going to call this df events. And this is going to be my initial URL. So the first page that I want to scrape. And instead of hard coding it in, I'm going to put in URL. Then after I got a data frame from that page that I want to scrape from, I want to concatenate it to df1. So df1 equals pd.concat df1 and df events. After I've done that, I want to grab my next URL, which is going to be right here. And I'm going to call this URL, which is a little confusing since I put it in right there. So I think that's all that I need. Let's just see what happens. So start with 0 events scraped, then I have 16. And this first week, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that looks like it's running. And got an error. So it broke after a little bit. So what is the URL that it broke on? It broke on this one. So it looks like not everyone has, I'm guessing it broke right here where there is no attendees. So not everyone has an attendee, so I'm going to have to do like a try except statement inside of that function. So at the end of this, I'm going to move this to the end. Try this except dot append. So if there isn't a number of attendees, we'll put in 0. And let's see if it works now, or at least we get past that June 9th date. All right, cool. Yeah, as we go further and out, there's less and less events. So I don't think I'm going to get to 1,000. Yeah, so it looks like there really is only 128 events for a while. So yeah, so it broke after a while. Let's take a look at what URL is. So this, oh, we're in 2021 already. So at this point, you can't click that next button. So I'm going to put in a try except statement at there as well. So try, and if it doesn't work, break. Let's run it again. Hopefully this will be the last time we have to run it. All right, I think it stopped. Cool. So let's look at DF1. So 129. So there's an event in June 20th, 2021. Yeah. So that looks like this is it. I just want to try something out really quick. I want to make this. If I look at my D types of event date, it's an object. I want to make this in a date time. You'll learn a little bit more about this a little bit later in the course, making a time series, but I just want to showcase how to do it. PD to date time. So notice it's an object right now. If I take a look at the D types now. Oh shoot, I meant to. Oh, I messed up. I assigned everything to be DF1. So I'm gonna have to redo everything here. I should have assigned it just to be the event date. So I'm gonna have to rerun this, which doesn't take too long at least, but not a good practice what I just did. Hopefully I don't run into any errors. Sometimes if you visit a website multiple times, they will start kind of realizing that you're doing that and scraping, and they might block you. So not a good practice to continually to visit a site. But so I want to assign just the column. I don't want to assign the entire data frame. So when this is done running, I want to run that, then run that, then run that. 128 events scraped. I think that, so I start with an object with event date. Now I have this date time. So if I take a look at df1, so originally it was in this format. If I look at the dot head now, so now it's in this format. So I could do a, what's kind of nice is I can do a dot set index to be the event date. So now the event date is the index, and then I can do this thing called resampling. You'll learn more about this, but I'm going to resample by week. And I want to do event name dot count. So this is the number of events by week. And what I want to see is that over time, it goes down to 0. Dot plot kind equals align. I'm going to import matplotlib. Yeah, so let's make this a little bit nicer. With plot.style.context 538. Fig size equals 12 by 6. Plot.ylabel number of events. Plot.title number of events in NYC by date. Number of, I guess it's weekly events, number of weekly. This will be weekly. And then plot.xlabel equals date. So cool. So basically you see that it definitely does go down over time. And that's all that I have for this lab. Hopefully it was useful, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.